Hi, everyone. I am Stephenie Zamora, founder of Stephenie Zamora Media, where we help people step into who they're here to be and the work they are here to do. And I am so excited to talk to Kim Beasley on the Pamper My Business podcast about what it really takes to build a multi-passionate business when you are a very multi-passionate, multifaceted individual. So join us. I can't wait to share.
Are you stuck when it comes to figuring out how to build your business brand online? Then check out Pamper My Business free training that helps you learn how to easily start building your business brand online. Just go to free.pampermybusiness.com. Remember, it's free. I'm Kim Beasley, and I'm the host of Pamper My Business podcast, where you will learn tips, tools, and techniques that will give you the freedom to easily build your business brand online so that you can be seen and then sell to your target customers. I will be interviewing industry leaders and professionals who will share their knowledge and experience, which will help you brand your business online. Get ready to take notes and learn from Kim and her guests, because this is going to be a fun learning experience.
Hi, everyone. This is Kim Beasley with Pamper My Business podcast. I'm so excited today because I have with me Stephenie Zamora, who is the founder of Stephenie Zamora Media. And with her business, what she likes to do is she loves to manage worlds of personal development, branding, design, all these different things that revolve around businesses. And she guides her clients through the process of uncovering who they're here to be and the work they're here to do. She has all of these different things that she loves to do. And she's been featured on shows like The Huffington Post, Yahoo Shine, Elite Daily. She's just got all of these different ways that she's communicated with people who really need to hear what she has to say. So today, I am so excited to have you here, Stephenie.
Yay. Hi, Kim. Thank you for having me.
It's exciting to have you here because you have something that my listeners need to hear. And I want you to start that something by sharing what is the purpose of your business.
Yeah. So like you said, the focus of my company, and I've been working to reposition as a media company because I do have so much that we offer. So there's 5 brands within my company, but our core focus is to help people step into who they're here to be and the work they're here to do. And I say we do that at all points on the journey. So whether that's trying to heal and rise up and come back in the aftermath of life's most challenging chapters, to uncovering what you're passionate about and organizing your life and work around it, to starting a business around that thing that you're here to do, that you feel called to do so you can contribute in the way that you want to growing your brand and your business, if that's a website or copy. So I have been fortunate enough to have had experience in all these different areas and to have built these brands. And my client is the same person at all points on the journey, but that's really our focus. Yeah.
That is so awesome because one of the things that you've done, I really identify with because it has to do with the Huffington Post. They used to do Huffington Live or HuffPost Live, and I used to participate in their hangouts, and I got to meet a lot of stars and all like that. And on some of the hangouts, they actually allowed us to participate as interviewees. So there's actually an article on Huffington Post that features me talking about an experience of being bullied in the workplace. So I used to love doing that. I just thought I'd mention that because I was like, we have to talk about Huffington Post.
I never got to experience their lives, but it's such a great community of people coming together, whether people were just blogging on the platform or doing the video. But and that's what's so great. I don't know if you feel this way. I feel like most people do, but like the online space is so magical because you get to connect with people that you never would meet otherwise.
I totally agree. Like today, we're meeting. I think one of the things that businesses need to learn is that online is a community that you can build. You
Yeah.
can build your customer base. You can even build your peer base, people who you can go
Yes.
to for resources, for mentorship, things like that. So, with that in mind, I'd like to talk about what the purpose of your business is, which you've already shared. But I also want people to know how you got started. So, can you share with us how you started your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So my background is actually in graphic design. I went to school for design. I worked at design firms and agencies in Denver after graduating. And, part of my journey has been that figuring out like, what is it that I'm really here to do? Because I had this skill set, I had this talent, I was really good at what I did and had a great job and started my first design business with an ex-boyfriend who was also a designer. But there was something in me that was like, I feel like I'm meant for more. Like I want to do more than be just another designer, which is not to downplay the importance of design if that's your passion. But for me, it felt like a tool to do something greater. And so I, at the time, discovered this whole magical online world where there was like coaches and programs and groups, and went to an event in New York with someone who was in the online business building marketing space and just discovered this whole world of personal growth and online business. And so I started kind of exploring for me, like, who do I really want to help? And at the time I was going through my own quarter life crisis. So I was like, well, I'll write about that. I'll help people with their quarter life crisis based on what I'm learning. And through being in the online space and kind of going on this own growth journey myself, I started working with people who felt the same way. Like they were feeling stuck, unfulfilled, like nothing was necessarily wrong, but they were just kind of like bleh about life.
Mm-hmm.
And really helping people uncover like, what is your passion? Like, what is your purpose and how do you want to contribute? And then taking them through the process of how to reorganize their life and work and relationships around it. And so I launched my first little online program. It was actually just a little ebook that, you got by mail through MailChimp. And from there, all of my people, and the whole time I'm doing this, I'm still paying the bills with website design and development, but have started working with solopreneurs who, I'm sure, as you know, Kim, like they're so passionate about what it is that they're doing. Like they're doing their work in the world. So I'm loving that, but I'm coaching this other group of people, and as they're uncovering their passion, they get really entrepreneurial. I would say 95% of the people that come into my sphere, even if they weren't that way before, become entrepreneurial because same as what happened to me, it was like, wow, like look what I can do with the internet. And so I started business coaching based on what I had learned around online business and marketing and branding, which I was already experienced in. And from there, it's just kind of grown. It's also grown alongside my personal journey. Again, there's 5 different elements to my business at this point. My business is about 10 years old, and I went through a really traumatic loss at the end of 2014, which just thrust me into this whole new world of grief and healing. And I had PTSD and really learning what it took to come back from things like that. And so I've kind of taken everything that I love and everything that I've built and brought it together inside this container. And it's really fulfilling and something that I love helping other people with. I meet a lot of people that are like, I want to do more than just what I'm doing, but they feel like they have to choose one track. And in my experience for myself and with my clients and some of my friends is that, yes, you need to focus, but you can build something that lets you be all of you and lets you do all of these different things. And so that's kind of the high overview of my journey. But yeah,
that's really great. And it's so funny that you're sharing how you're helping people out of your pain, how what you're going through is helping others who are facing the same thing. And I can identify with that because where I have grown my business from, my business, I started my business actually in 1999.
Wow.
Yeah. But, and that was when I left my corporate job and I decided to start my own business. And first I went into the consulting world, and that was when it was like the big boom. You get paid all the money and all like that.
Yeah.
And then 9/11 happened and the bottom dropped out. And
Yeah.
I was let go like 3 days after 9/11, and I had to reinvent myself. So I understand that process you're talking about, finding yourself and reinventing yourself. And for those who are listening who have started a business, but yet they feel like they're at a crossroads, what are some things that you can help them with, or you would suggest that they do to get past that crossroad and make decisions that will grow them?
Yeah, that's a great question. My biggest thing comes back to trust, like self-trust,
Mhm.
and not as simply as like, oh, trust yourself and it'll be fine, but like really getting to know who you are at your core and understanding what motivates you, what you're most afraid of, like what you're driven to create. And I will say for me personally, that has made the biggest difference. Like I like to talk about, I would pay experts a lot of money just to ignore them. And everything in my business that has been the most successful, most fulfilling, and most profitable are the things that people, both, again, coaches I'm paying a lot of money to in masterminds and programs, to colleagues that were successful in the online space. They were things that those people told me wouldn't work. You can't do it that way. My design business, for example, I like to use that as the example the most, is because there's nothing refundable in my design business.
Mhm.
There's no pay half up front and half when we're done. It's installments. There's like, we talk for the sales conversation. I include a couple strategy calls, but other than that, we work by email. Like I don't want to be on the phone with you. I've built every aspect of my business around my personality. And I think that's what's made it most successful from a marketing side, but also because like, you have to know who you are to really
Mhm.
be successful in this space. And I don't know if you've done this, Kim. I certainly did at first, or if you've had clients that do, but we tend to latch onto an expert or a mentor
Mhm.
or a coach, and we
Mhm.
believe the lie that we have to do it exactly like them. And that's just not the case. Like there are so many businesses that don't succeed when they get to those crossroads because
Yeah.
they're trying to emulate or copy or model someone else. And for me, my business has seen the most growth. Same with my clients when I'm able to get myself or them to that point of like, what is true for me? Like, what do I
Right.
want right now? What do I like know to be true about my work and my people? How, like, what's my personality? Like, I don't want to be on the phone all the day. I would never have kept my business as long if I had to be on the phone all the
Mhm.
time. So, and trusting yourself enough to stand firm in that. So I think that's the second part of it, is knowing it to be true. But I've had people tell me like, I don't want to hire you if we can't be on the phone all the time. And I'm like, great. I'm sure there's someone else you can hire. Like, bye. Like, and
I'm
being able to
100% right
hold that.
there. I'm 100% with you. I believe in documentation. And if you're on a phone call, there's not necessarily going to be documentation from that
Exactly.
call.
Yep.
So if a customer has a request, email it or submit it to me via the communication tool that we use. But I totally understand, as a business owner, you have to decide what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get ideals from industry leaders. What works for them may not necessarily work for you, but maybe you can tweak it a little bit and get it to work. But make sure it feels right to you.
I was just going to say, and I say this all the time to people who, if they're not going to hire me, that's fine. But like, I like to give this piece of advice, is make sure that the people that you're talking to, whether it's coaches or service providers, whoever you're working with to help you in your business, make sure that how they approach their work with you is process oriented. Because if it's just like, here's a blueprint, here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 step, if it's not like process oriented, allows you to get clear on, this is who I am and this is what I want and this is what I am doing, so that you can engage with whatever you're trying to do in a way that's true to you. And I think that's something that's really lacking
Hmm.
with service providers as a whole, but also in a lot of programs, even for personal growth. Like if it's not about the process, like we have an end goal we're working towards, but how we get there is unique to you and what you want and need. Like that's a really big part of it, to get whatever result you're really trying to get in a way that's true to you.
I totally agree. One of the things with my podcast that I have and it may not fit with everybody, but I use what are called Bitmoji images. And so
I
I
love that
get
you
all of
asked for
my
that.
I get all of my guests to create a Bitmoji and send it to me so that I can put it on the podcast.